You have found yourself a fantastic little spot for your first house, but what are you going to do? You've got limited resources, but you want something that looks absolutely amazing. I'm going to show you how to make a really great starter house from a very small space and make it look awesome. Don't you go anywhere. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night, and welcome to another building tutorial with me, Avomance. And thank you for watching. Actually, I don't know how often I actually say that in a video. Thank you very much for watching this. Please make sure you watch it till the end, because we've got lots of details coming through the entire length of this particular episode, and you really need to see it through to be able to make sure you get the entire benefit of it. Today we're going to build a starter house, but in the default skin. Now, people are saying, oh, Avomance, please don't use that type of texture pack because I can't tell the difference between this block and that block. I completely understand. We're going to do it in default. Now, I know I'm not in default now. This is equanimity. I quite like it because the spruce trees look all fluffy. They look all fluffy. Look at them. They're brilliant. But what we're going to do is we're going to make this in the default texture pack, and then I'm going to switch around into a couple of other texture packs just to see what it looks like in maybe 2 or 3 different ones, so you can see how different they can look and how effective a texture pack can make it. And we're going to do it from the inside out, sort of. So we're not going to build kind of the walls on the outside and then go inwards. We're going to start to structure it inwards and come outwards a little bit. You'll kind of get what I mean when we start to do it. Hopefully it will make lots and lots of sense. Please make sure you watch it right to the end, because there is lots and lots of information I'm going to have in this video for you. And if you enjoy it, please do make sure you hit the like button. It will be really, really awesome to see you in my sub club too. So if you've not hit the sub button, it'll be great for you to do that. And I'll look forward to seeing you at the end of this video, because we're going to crack straight onto it right now. The first thing we're going to do is work out exactly where it is we want our little house. And this is a really nice clearing. It theoretically could be anywhere, but I'm going to have it so as it is not quite in the centre, because then I can do something to the back of it ever so slightly. And we're going to make sure you've got plenty of space around. It's really important you've got lots of space. And we're going to create a 7 by 7 square out of, let's do it out of cobble, shall we? Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm actually going to go 1 forward there. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is counting with Avo. Yeah, not kidding you. I'm actually going to be counting with you. Then we're going to get stone, and we're going to stick a stone on the corner, the outside corner of each one of these, like that. And then, whoop, not there. And then on the outside of that, we're going to get some oak wood, and we're going to stick oak wood on the outside of each of those corners. So you can see we've made kind of like a little star shape. Look at it from above. You can see there we've got like a star shape. You then need to decide, where's your front door going to be? Now I'm going to put my front door, unsurprisingly, at the front. That's going to be there. But then you also might want a back door. So we're going to get a back door, and we're going to put it slightly to the side on this one because it's more interesting. We're going to stick a back door right there, and I think that works really quite well. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the height of the house. So we need to estimate what the height's going to be. It's going to be, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and actually I'm going to put it 5. Now that last one is going to be where the cross beams go, so don't get too excited. It's not going to be a hugely high house. It's going to be a beautifully high house. Generally speaking, 4 high is good for some height on a house, and we're going to go just an extra one to get the cross beams. Can you see? Exactly like that. So this is the beginnings of the house. We're then going to get ourselves some chiseled stone bricks just to make it interesting, and we're going to stick that on each bit here. Now it doesn't have to be chiseled stone brick, it could be any kind of brick you really wanted it to be. I'm using chiseled stone brick purely because it makes for a nice interesting texture. And we're then going to stick another one of those there, whoops, there, and there, like that. So you can see we're starting to build kind of a little bit of a towerage effect here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves just some stone brick. And the reason I want to go stone brick because it contrasts really nicely with the cobble. We're going to get that either side of what's going to be that front door, and we're going to leave 2 gap. We're going to stick one on the corner, and stick one on that corner, leave 1 gap, stick it either side of what will be the door, and stick it on the corner. Then you need to decide what kind of windowage you're going to be putting in this particular house. I'm going to stick one there and there. I'm going to have that open or closed all the way along, and you'll see why. And then I'm going to have a window that is 3 wide along that side. The reason being, it just looks out on that little piece there, which is quite nice. We're going to change up our blocks, and we're going to get ourselves, oh, there they are, they're already there, look. We're going to get ourselves some stone brick stairs. We're going to remove these 3 here. We're going to put stone brick stairs there, and then wherever we've got a window, we're going to get a set of stone brick stairs. Got no windows around that side at all, and again you'll see why in a minute, or in a little while anyway, and we'll get there and there. So that is our beginnings of the walls for the house, but then we're going to change it up a little bit more, and we're going to find ourselves some oak wood planks, and we're going to top around this with oak wood. And the reason I quite like mixing up stone and oak, it looks really, really nice. And I'm going to leave that gap open like that. I'm going to leave that gap open like that. I'm going to come around. Then either side of the window we're going to make that oak too. But at the top of the windows we're going to leave it completely open, and I'm also going to leave this open there, and because I think it's just going to look too flat, I guess, if we just have it as wooden blocks. I'm just going to leave it for now, and we're going to see where we go with it. We're now going to build the frame across the top of these wooden poles, so we're going to come all the way across here like this. So you can see it looks a little bit like a temple so far, but it won't. It's not going to finish looking like a temple, I promise you. It will look like a house. Let's get some stairs, and we're going to put some stairs on the side here, and they're going to be the right way round, so as if you were going to walk up them. So we're going to come all the way along this side, and then out one more, and then all the way along this side. So we've got a nice overhang. Out one more, and I've not done out one more on this side here, so let's do that. Exactly like that. So you can see we've got quite a nice beginnings of what will be a gable-ended house, and we're going to have another layer across here. So that's perfect. And then we're going to get some spruce wood planks, because what I don't like always is having a roof that is just straight up and down. So when we're going to get upside stairs along here, first of all, not that one, this 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 one, not that one, and that one. I'm going to come here and do exactly the same, miss the gap where it's wood, all the way along, not that one, and go there. Then we're going to get our spruce wood planks. We're going to fill these bits in here, and that's because when we create kind of the gable ends of our houses, we don't want a gap where that step's going to be. It just doesn't look particularly good. Then we're going to come up and put a whole wooden block along the top like that. And I know it's really weird doing stairs before you do much more of the outside, but it just helps me to get a feel for what the house is going to look like if I do the stairs now. And we're going to step another set of steps along the top here, and then upside down steps along here, not that one because it's the wood. And then we're going to use the same pattern. We are going to go again with the steps all the way along, including the gap that we've just made, and the same on the other side. And we get upside down stairs. Starting to get a shape that isn't a straight A, it's more of a wobbly A, and I think it just looks more interesting. And then repeat until you get to the apex of the roof, the point of the roof. Let's fill in these gaps here with block, which leaves us with a bit of a gap here, really, doesn't it? So we are going to just put a block in the middle of that, all the way down, And then on top of that, we're going to stick a slab all the way down. Whoops, not two, just one. So you can see we've got a bit of a roof effort going on there. Now we're not going to do any detail on the edge of that roof yet because we're going to do something with it in just a bit. Not quite yet, but just a bit, and you'll see what. So I don't want to put any edge in or any detail on this because we're going to come back to it. What we're going to come back down to now is these walls, because we want to try and make these walls just a little bit more interesting. And what I want first, I notice I've not got, is I want some oak wood stairs. Can I find them? Yes, I can. Stick them in there. And I'm going to come down and have some oak wood stairs upside down along here. And it just gives a little bit more of a textured finish with this groove here. And I might do something with those stones there, I'm not sure. But what I will definitely do is get some stone brick stairs here and come all the way along to give that some width. And then along here, where we've got cobble, we're going to put in stone brick stairs. Obviously we've already got them there. We're going to come around this way. Where we've got cobble, stick some stone brick stairs in. Like that. And keep going all the way around. So now we're creating some nice depth and texture. So I want to get some doors in. And the reason I want to get some doors in is because it just lets me know exactly where things are going to go. But to put in a door, I need to put in the floor that the door's going to have. So I'm just going to stick those like that. And then we can complete this floor in just a minute. So let's get these doors in, and we're going to do it from the inside, because then we get the indent. Both sides come out. So you can see we get that nice indentation, a little bit of sight of what the floor is going to be inside there as well. And we're going to put some windows in. So let's get a glass pane on each of the window areas like that. We've got no window on this side, we already know. They come around the front. We're going to get glass pane in here, which is a double glass pane, just like that. Come around the outside here, and a triple glass pane there. So we've got loads and loads of light coming in there. We need to get our oak wood stairs, because these are going to go above the top of the glass like that. Let's come all the way around, stick upside down there, upside down there, upside down like that, and then come all the way down on the other side as well. And stick two upside down stairs there and there. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to get ourselves some spruce wood slabbing, and we're going to come in and we're going to create spruce slab layer all the way around here, and that's going to create the beginnings of the internal layering. And this is going to have an upstairs, and the upstairs is going to have a slight stepping out towards the edge, and this is actually going to cause the beginning of that stepping. You'll see what I mean when we actually get there, but it looks really cool on the inside when you do this from the outside. So all the way around like that. But it doesn't look quite right from the outside, so which is why we have to do something else on the outside as well, just to finish it off. And that is by getting some more steps, and this time spruce wood steps, because they match really, really well with the oak wood. And we're going to come around upside down steps for the entire length of all four of these sides. So let's get that done. So you can see there, that's actually starting to look really, really quite nice. And it no longer looks like a jungle temple. It now actually looks like something just a little bit nicer. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get these cobblestone slabs, and I'm going to stick cobblestone slab just in here to see what it looks like. And this is when you step back and you assess, you think, does that look nice? I quite like the contrast that cobblestone gives with those steps. I'm going to leave that because I think, I'll show you what it looks like. I think that's too much. I think that the singles look fine, so I'm going to leave that and do something with that in a bit. And I'm going to stick here. Does it look right? No, again, double looks too much. It just looks right with the single, so it's important only to do what you think looks right. Let's get a bit more detail in here, and we're going to start by putting something around these windows. Put a trapdoor, wooden trapdoor specifically, at the top edge of each of the sides of the windows like that. So like that, and then click it down. Like that, click it down. You can see it looks like a nice shutter. It works really quite well. Then nothing on that side because there's no window. Come to the other end. Put exactly the same on either side of that window. No, not actually on the window. That window. Like that. And then on this one, we're going to do exactly the same. Even though it's 3 wide, we're just going to put a shutter on the outside of it like that. We're going to get a little bit of vinage. I'm going to put a vine on the top of each one of these corner bits here. Again, it's only going to grow down just a little way. Too much vinage is going to look like Tarzan leaves here, and we don't want that. But we do want it to give a little bit more, I don't know, realism and texture. So we stick one on each of those. They will grow down just a little bit. Like that. And so it's starting to come together really beautifully. We need to get ourselves some spruce wood stairs here now, because this is going to go above the door. And I just want to contrast above the door ever so slightly, and then come around the other side, because there's another door around this side, and we're going to stick again exactly the same way, spruce wood upside down. Now I may decide to change that to oak wood when I go inside, because it might not look quite right with the flow of the floor, but we will get there in a moment. But we are going to come inside, and we've only got a very small space, but we're going to really maximise that space. But we want to get some light going, and to get the light going, we're going to come up here and we're going to put some glowstone in the groove along here, and we're going to do it to these blocks. So you see where the blocks are sticking out, they work as a really good indicator for where the glowstone will stop. You see we're stopping the glowstone there, and we're going to get our oak wood, and the oak wood is going to finish off this bit here. We're going to come out like that. Now again, we're going to finish off these edges in a little while, but I do want to just bring this edging in so as we know that that is where that oak wood is going to go. We're going to add the slightest little bit more detail to the underside of these ends of the roofs here by sticking upside down spruce wood stairs all along this piece of wood. It gives another nice little overhang, which I really quite like. Although if you would prefer to do this and have it just as the bare wood, because the wood looks good bare, then you do it. I've already done this side, as you can see, and then we are going to get ourselves our oak fence, and that oak fence is going to come across here where we've got the blocks, and that's the reason we put the blocks in, is so we've got full blockage to be able to put our no gaps to be able to put various blocks etc in here. So we're creating that like that, and I want there to be absolutely loads of light in this, so we're going to stick glass blocks. Now I like the texture where these glass blocks come out from the from those fence posts. I think it works really quite well, so that is why I've gone with blocks rather than panes, and the blocks fill up that gap completely. And then we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. We are in a really lovely area here. We want to be able to see it all, and that means not blocking out any of our view and any of our light. So let's get all of it in here and create a complete wall of glass that is going to let so much light into this particular building. It's going to be absolutely superb. So you can see there, we've really started to build out nicely, and it's starting to come together in the way that we want. Now we're going to go inside, and we're just going to create a little bit of floor. Now it's not going to take very long because we've not got a very big floor area, but we're going to fit so much stuff into this house, you are not going to believe it. You just wait until you see what we do, because we're going to have levels. The levels are going to be quite amazing. In fact, we're going to stick sleeping levels, storage levels, crafting levels. It's going to be really very clever. So there we have a nice little floor, a nice little space, and we're going to get ourselves, where's the wall that's not got anything on it? This is the wall that's not got anything on it, and we're going to have a set of stairs that is going to go up to this level up here. You know what? You know I said earlier on in the video that I wasn't going to like something. I don't like it. I'm replacing it. I've changed my mind. It's my build. I can do what I want with it. If you'd rather have that as a separate colour, you go for your life. Me, I prefer it the same, because then upstairs looks exactly the same. So we're going to build one block in from the wall that's completely no windows. One block in, we're going to sit one set of stairs, then upside down, another one on top of that, one underneath that, upside down, then one on top of that, and that brings us out to the level we want. And we're going to get some slabs, oak slabs in this instance, and we are going to put them along here. Not the entire floor, just to to there. So it just overlaps, you can see just overlaps those stairs, and that is all we need right now for that. And then, because we're going to create ourselves a little bit of a downward step to go down to the other level, and we're going to do that here. So we're going to take out 1, 2, 3, 4, then we're going to take out 1, 2, 3, then we take out 1, 2, and 1. And we're going to get here some oak wood steps. We're going to put them there, 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 and there, and take out a layer of dirt underneath this floor, because this is going to be our downstairs. So once I've done that, I'll be right back. So we've hollowed out a nice area under here, but it's really, really dark, and that's no good for anybody. So how are we going to do it? Well, we're going to make that light up in the same way that we're going to make this entire area light up, because this is going to get dark too. So we're going to take out 2 parts of the floor like that, and we're going to replace it with glowstone. Now, I know that you think that glowstone looks just a little bit rubbish when it is sat there in the middle of the floor, and I couldn't agree with you more, which is why we're going to try something a little bit more clever. And we're going to get a piece of carpet, and we're going to stick carpet on the floor over here. Now, the thing about carpet and glowstone is when you cover glowstone with a bit of carpet, you still get the light, which is brilliant. So we're going to come down here, and you can see we've still got the light from that glowstone lighting up this entire room, and that makes it so much more interesting and so much easier to be able to create a really, really good effect. And in here, because this is kind of an underground area, a cellar, we're going to make it more stone wally rather than wood wally. I think it makes more sense to have a stone wall in a cellar than it does to have a wood wall. So make the walls completely stoned like this. I like to use stone brick. Stone brick is a really nice, attractive block to use without using common cobble, and I appreciate it takes just a little bit more time to craft, but it's really worth the effort. I think the effect it gives you is brilliant. So let's come under there like that, and we're nearly there, and there, there, and there. And we're going to leave that bit open because we can use that for a little bit of detail a little bit later on. But what I do want to do is I want to come under here, and I want to get myself some steps and just upside down those steps, because there is the perfect place for us to have a little bit of storage under there. Because that's a transparent block, it will allow you to open a chest if we stick it there. So that's exactly what we're going to do in a little while. So looking around this room now, you can start to see the areas that you want to play with. So we've got a little bit of open floor there, and we don't want that, but we can't put a carpet on it because this stair is in the way. So what we're going to do, we're just going to make it a little bit more sensible and at the same time functional. So we're going to get rid of that little stair block there. We're going to get a crafting table, and we're going to stick a crafting table there. It then fills up that floor area, and the crafting table is still functional, which is brilliant. So we can use that. We've also got this pretty ugly bit of dirt. So let's get rid of dirt and fill it up with a nice flow of the stone and brick like that. So now we've got that, looks really, really quite nice as well. If we come up here, we've got no gaps in the floor whatsoever, but it is a little bit bland, and this is the area that we're going to put our bed and some more storage and all kinds of stuff in a minute. So I think that looks alright at the moment. We're going to fill up more stuff around here pretty soon, but let's come back outside and see what else we've got. So this is the point at which you start to look at your house and you think, right, what haven't I done yet? What have I done yet? Now, the one thing that we've not got yet on the roof is a chimney. So we are going to take a chimney to the roof, and I think that probably the best place for a chimney is going to be up here. So let's come to where we've got around about the middle of the roof. Take out 2 bits of step, put 2 stone bricks, 2 more bits of step, and make 4 stone bricks. Then we're going to come and make 4 more stone bricks, and then we need some stone wall. And I've not managed to get any stone wall whilst I've been putting these bits and pieces together. So where's my stone wall? There it is. Let's get that stone wall and put it 1, 2, 3, 4, and that creates a nice chimney pot there. And now you can do anything there if you wanted to. You could, if you wanted, you could put something else on top of that. You could put more stone bricks if you like to make a longer chimney. That would look a little bit like that. For me personally, I don't like it. You could perhaps do slabs. You could put another layer of wall on it to make a longer chimney. I personally don't like that either, so I'm just leaving it exactly like that because I think that makes for a really nice looking chimney. It's subtle, it's effective, and it does what it says on a tin, which is look like a chimney. Let's finish off this area downstairs now, and we are going to cover this floor, at least to start with a nice yellow carpet. It's a different level, so let's make sure that it's looked at in a different way. Coming all the way around here. Now, not all of this floor is going to keep the carpet, but it's going to at least have the carpet. Now, we've already said that in there we are going to put in a chest, but in here, a bit like we did upstairs, we're going to also put in a crafting table, because I think it's a really nice way of filling in that gap. You can still use it, and if we then put a chest next to it like that, that chest still opens because you've got the stairs underneath it. It works really, really well like that. Now here we are going to have a number of furnaces. Now for furnaces, again, we need to remove the carpet, otherwise it's going to look a little bit weird. So let's move the carpet, stick that there, stick another furnace on top and another furnace on top, move the carpet, furnace on top, furnace on top. So that's 6 lots of furnaces there, which is absolutely loads. We're going to remove those 2 pieces of the carpet. We're going to stick double chest there and a double chest there, and we can also stick an anvil in there, because anvils can sit on top very happily of a chest without there being any problem at all. So stick an anvil there. That is also functional. And we're also going to get some brewing capabilities down here, because I really like to be able to have a right good brew, and to do that we're probably best making a little bit of a gap just here. So if we dig in all the way back here, get rid of all of that, and then in this bit up here, just up the top, we're going to stick some stone, and then here we're going to get some glowstone in there, and there as well, and there as well. And then we're going to get a bucket. We're going to stick a bucket there and a bucket there. Then that's going to give us an infinite water source right there, but we only want to really be taking the water from there. So I like to cover up those 2 sections so you don't mess it up, because what can happen is you can take the water from there and then that's it, the water source is broken. So there, now that has an infinite water source that you can't really mess up too badly. And we're going to put in here the brewing stand just dangling like that, because it's magic, and the fact that it is sat over a carpet and might go on the floor, but the brewing stand sits there really, really beautifully. You've also got room here for all kinds of other stuff. Perhaps you want to put in another set of chests, so let's get rid of that and get rid of that there. Lots and lots of storage possibilities down here. I suggest you just do what you want to do. It is absolutely brilliant. And we're going to go back upstairs as well, and up here we're going to start to create ourselves a bit of a bedroom. So if I get this here, this bed, and then we get the bed, put one bed there and one bed there, a nice double bed. We like double beds. And if we get a chest, stick a double chest there, that will also be accessible from down here. Well, not there, from down here if we want it to be, or we can take it upstairs. Very, very good. And then if we get ourselves a nice armor stand, we can stick armor stand here and there, and we can put our armor on that, and that'll look really, really good too. I think we need more storage over here. Let's come back this way. We can stick storage there and storage there, and we can easily access that. And then if we get some picture frames we can put there, there and there, and we can put some weapons sitting in those picture frames, and we'll be able to keep them in storage. In fact, let's stick another one there as well. We'll be able to keep that to store our weapons as well as our armour on these armour stands, and any other decoration that you might like in this awesome kind of dormer roof that is going to be really, really well lit up. Now you can put anything else you wanted in here as well. Perhaps in here we could put some more storage, because you can definitely get storage. If I click the right button in there, that'll open up still, because that is a opening. We can get another one in there, that'll open up still. So we've got loads and loads of storage possibilities in here. It's absolutely endless. Now we're going to add a little bit of detail onto the big side of this roof, because it looks a bit bland from the front. We've got these really gorgeous gable ends that are on the sides of the house, and then the front of the house is just a little bit weird. So we're going to create a really nice dormer window. What we're going to do that is we need to get halfway along, so that's 7 in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in. Then we're going to come up 1 block, and then on that block we're going to come sideways 3, 1, 2, 3, and then the other way as well, 1, 2, 3. I did tell you that this was going to be counting with Avo. I did warn you. Then that is going to go sideways there. That is going to go sideways there. Then we're going to stick another one so as it's pointing up that way. Another one so as it's pointing up that way, like that. Then we're going to upside down this again. That's going to have another step, and then in there we're going to get a bit of logwood, and that's going to go there. We can then put a step on top of that with a slab on top of that, or you could just put a slab on top of it, depends how high you want it to go. I personally am just going to put a slab across like that because I think that's plenty for the size of it. And then we just need to finish that off, because so we need to take away some of these bits to be able to kind of join it all up. I've gone one too far there, look. Right, so that comes in there like that, and then on this side we remove that bit and that goes in there like that. So we've got a nice, just a little dormer window. Underneath there we're going to go upside down. Underneath there we're going to go upside down. So it's not a big window, it's just a little one. So now we've got the window all set, we are going to stick 6 blocks of glass. Could be any glass you wanted. I'm going to use just standard glass blocks. And now we're going to try and create something that just makes it a little bit more interesting. And we're going to use cobblestone stairs and cobblestone and various other cobblestone bits. So let's get the necessary cobblestone things we need. Okay, so we've got the slabs, the stairs and the blocks, and we're going to edge the whole of this roof in cobble. So first off I'm going to put the blocks on like that, then I'm going to get the stairs, and I'm going to come around and I'm literally going to line where I've got wood, I'm going to put cobble. Underneath, exactly the same way, we're going to put upside down stairs to give it a little bit of substance, and then you do the whole of the roof. And at the end here we're just going to put a little bit of extra sticky outy detail with an upside down cobble stair and a little bit of extra cobble edging with a slab, and we're going to put, to bring out this log so as it's level with the cobble, and then we're just going to do that again on the other side. So let's get that done now.
Now I'm an outlaw on the run, dangerous but it's so fun, running low.
So we've got nice edging right the way across both of those gable ends, and we're just going to do exactly the same down here. So I'm just going to get my cobble stairs, and we're going to stick cobble stair edging on there in the right place, on there, and on there. I'm going to come around to the outside. We're going to do there, and there. Again, we're going to get a nice cobble slab. That's going to come out there. We're going to extend the oak wood out one further. And now we've got a bit of a choice. Now what I think is necessary here is to continue this all the way down before we do the underpinning, and I think that makes it just look so much nicer if we were to do that. So let's get that here like that, and we need to underpin like this. Then we can remove all of this because we're going to do something clever with that in a minute. So let's get that like that. That needs to be replaced, didn't mean to do that. Then we're going to underpin the whole lot all the way up like that, and then what we're going to do is we are going to get a piece of cobblestone slab, and we're going to see if we can't go all the way around like that, but stop when we get to the underpin. So there, but not there, and there. So you can see that's like that. Come all the way around the outside then, and we're going to do the same on this side as well, so as it's even, otherwise it will look really, really weird. And come all along the outside to create a really wide overlap, which makes for a really nice, forget from behind the tree, really nice overlap. I really like the way that that comes out, and it gives a little bit of a, almost like an effect of a slope at the side. That's really, really nice. And then inside here, you could, if you wish, you could continue that like this, That's always a choice. And then you can do that. And you can take out that and do that. But it's entirely up to you whether or not you want that looking quite that solid, or whether you want it maybe a little bit more flowing. I completely leave it to you as to what your preferred choice was. And then actually I'm also going to bring this up here, which I forgot, sorry, and that's going to come out on the gable end. So that makes just a nice little dormer window on the side of the house, and makes it just a little bit more interesting to look at from the outside, from the front. Time to finish off this outside now. So we're going to have ourselves a little gravel path. I do love a good gravel path, mate. What do you think about gravel paths? Comments below as to whether or not you like a good gravel path. And I'm going to lead it all the way down to the sand, because people are going to want to, I don't know, maybe swim. Do people swim in rivers anymore, or is that too dangerous? Really don't know. So let's get that path done there. So that's a nice little path coming out there. And here we're also going to get some plants going, because I like to see a few plants outside the front of the house. And we're going to just stick a couple of little plants there. We can get rid of those vines, because I don't want them to go too far anyway. And then maybe some of the other plants we can get in as well. So that'll look very nice and pretty. And then around the side we're going to create something a little bit more practical. So let's come out 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5, or not 5, sorry, and then put an oak wood there. And then we're going to come out again with our fence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That should start to come just out here. We want to come to this point here, and we're going to get another boat block there. The reason we stop there is because of this tree. I don't want to remove the tree. I could, but I don't want to. And then we're going to come along and create a fence here, and create a nice back garden all the way to level with the door, but not including the door. And we're going to miss a gap. We're going to come around here, this side. We're going to come past the edge of the house, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another wood block. Then we're going to come again with more fence all the way around until we are level with this. We're going to get another wood block, and then we're going to connect that up, leaving a gap. Whoops, I missed it. Leaving a gap there. Then we need to get ourselves some oak gate. Where's my thing? Oak fence gate, which is right there. We're going to stick a gate right there so we can enter and exit there. And then we're going to come around this way. And we're going to stick our gate there so we can enter and exit there. And you know what? I'm going to stick a little gate here as well, because it'll be nice to be able to go out into the forest through this way too. So then what we need to do is create a little gravel path, so get ourselves some more gravel, and we're going to create a gravel path that comes all the way from here up to the edge of the house and then along. Leave this gap green because we're going to do something with that in a moment. And then here we need to make sure we're going right up, hugging the wall, because we need to line ourselves up with this gate too. Just like that. And here we're going to hoe it all out. So let's get ourselves a hoe and hoe this entire area. And then we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, we do. We should have 11 blocks of dirt. This is already drying out. So then we need to go in 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then into this middle bit here. Stick in a bucket of water. That will hydrate that. Then come across 1, 2, 3, and then another 1, 2, 3, and in. Stick in another bucket of water, and that will be enough to hydrate the whole of this ground. Just got to re-hoe all of this, and then we're going to sow some seeds. Let's get ourselves some seeds, any seeds you like. We're going to sow the whole lot and make ourselves a decent little garden to be able to grow whatever it is we want to grow, just like that. And then along here we want to try and make this just a little bit nicer. So I'm just going to get some flowers again, because I think the flowers are what really makes these things sometimes. And it's good to have plenty of good flowering plants lurking around your entire building. So there's a good number of plants there, and we're just going to stick them in as relatively a kind of, I guess, as relatively a designed way as we possibly can, without it looking too designed, which is maybe a daft thing to say, but we're going to stick that there and there, and then we're going to stick some more allium there, and we're going to stick some blue orchids there. So it's not exactly designed perfectly, but it looks pretty good, I think. And we're going to stick some flowers in here. I do like the blue ones, so we're going to stick those like that. We're going to get some more decoration there, a little bit more decoration there, and then this area, you can kind of do what you want to do. I fancy having a little pond in this bit, so I'm going to dig out an area that looks not totally even, not totally odd, and I'm going to fill that up with water until it's nice and still, like that. And then I'm going to get myself some lily pads, and I'm going to stick just a few lily pads on there to make it look quite nice. And this is how the finished build looks, and I think it looks alright actually. It's come out really, really well. It's got some great detail there. You can see by the pond we've got some sugarcane, we've got a little seating area which looks brilliant, and round in the farm, look at this, we've got loads of lighting on that farm. It's got great views from every single angle. I'm really, really pleased with the way this came out. Inside you can see we've got a lovely little bedroom, we've got our storage that we mentioned, and we've got our armour stands that have got our armour ready to put on whenever we have to go and fight some nasties. But I did promise you at the top of this video we were going to look at this in a few different texture packs. So this is how it looks in default, and actually I think it looks pretty good. I'm quite pleased. But how does it look in some other texture packs? This is called Chroma Hills, and this is how it looks in Chroma Hills. Personally, I prefer this texture pack to the default. I think it is a really nice texture pack. I've used it a lot in the past, and I think it makes for a really, really nice feeling to all kinds of textures as well. It's got good glass with the kind of the leading around the glass. I love the way the wood looks. I love the way cobble, etc. looks. Trees look awesome. It's a really nice texture pack, and I think you'll agree it makes for a really different feel to the default setting. But what about some others? This resource pack is called Equanimity, and it is one of my personal favourites. It works really well with shaders as well. I've not got any shaders on at the moment because it's a little bit tricky for me to get everything to work on this particular computer with shaders, but oh my goodness, what a lovely texture pack. I prefer this to Chroma Hills. The textures of the trees are brilliant, the textures of the wood is amazing. Inside here, look, it looks really good. The armour looks brilliant. It's a really lovely, lovely texture pack, and I recommend, if you've not used Equanimity before, have a go with it. Just see what you think, because it's absolutely gorgeous. Right, so let's look with just one other. And the last one we're going to look at is Pure BD Craft. Now, I like this one, not as much. I used to use this quite a lot. It looks just a little bit more blocky, a little bit more angular. It's different to the default by a lot, I think, but it looks really, really quite nice. And this was I think the first or second texture pack I ever went to after moving away from the default texture pack, and I think it looks great. What do you think? I want to know what your favourite texture packs are in the description below. Please let me know what you think is absolutely brilliant, what you think is maybe not so good, and what people should avoid. It'll be really awesome to hear what you think. And if you haven't already, hit that like. Hit the like button, you know you want to. I did ask you at the top of the video if you would. If you've still forgotten, very naughty of you, but why don't you have a go hitting that like button now for me? And also hit the subscribe button. It will be amazing to see you in my sub club. I really, really look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.
Told my boss that I'm done. Had no luck with my mom.